Hello, hello! Today we're going to be having a look at the coloring book Stencil, or just coloring book Stencil from Picket Fence Studios. Anyway, I have pre-sprayed this with some pixie spray because it's got such a fine detail. I wanted to make sure that I get really nice and crisp lines, so I should probably let it cure a little bit longer, but you know, I was gonna say you live and learn, but clearly I do not, because I do this way too often. So let's move on, shall we? So I am attaching this directly to a white card base, and this is actually Nina cardstock because I'm going to be using some Pinkfresh inks, and I have realized that they actually blend amazingly on Nina cardstock, which is not the case with every ink there is out there. Oh no, no! So I am going to be starting with a sort of minty green teal card. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, because I've been using these brushes with these inks quite a lot, so I'm going over the whole thing with the ink that is left over on my brushes from a previous ink blending session. So I've been using, I think that's a lot of, that could be a mixture actually of Ocean Breeze and Aquamarine. So I'm going to go in now with a new brush and Mermaid Cove. So we are going to kind of bring the colors in and to kind of shape it a little bit. So we're going to leave the middle sort of lightish, and then we're going to use Mermaid Cove and Tidal Pond to kind of really draw the eye in. And you see that little piece of acetate that I got? I call that my finger saving tool. So it's literally just a tiny piece of acetate that I put a little bit of post-it tape on. You can just use washi tape or whatever. And this ensures that you're not touching your ink blending with your fingertips, which can leave marks, very ugly marks indeed, and mess up your project. So it will save your project as well as your fingers from getting super inky. So that is frugal tip number 1. I don't know if there's going to be another number 2 in this video, so it might just be frugal tip of the day. Let's go with that. So you can see I'm kind of, I've gone in quite heavy to kind of like really create that sort of tunnel vision almost. And then we're going to go in with Tidal Pond, which is the darkest color here, just sort of around the corner and just a little bit along the short edges there to kind of create that sort of depth. And then we're going to go in again with the brush that had a lot of ink left over on it already, or still, I should say. And we're going to just even out that blending a little bit towards the middle. And because there's hardly any ink left on it, I can go quite heavy, and you're not going to mess it up. So, but you're going to want to keep an eye on your brush before you go anywhere. You don't want it to be a loss of inky. So that is panel number 1. And I did make a little bit of a mess here because usually I actually have an acetate sheet under my ink blending too, but I completely forgot today. So I'll come my trusted stamp scrubber, and we're just going to be cleaning up the workspace a little bit because we're going to move on directly to project number 2. So again, of course, just make sure you dry everything when you do clean up, especially when there's ink involved. And I'm not going to actually clean off the stencil itself. However, we're going to be placing that on top of, again, another card base directly on top. And then we're going to use another sheet of acetate. You can see there's lots of paper glaze been scrubbed on there. And we're going to use that to kind of press it down. Now this sequin mix here is called Green Fairy, and it's got kind of like if you think a petrol spill, they have the like purple, teal, blue, pink, fuchsia mixture, like sheen in it. So I wanted to kind of use that color scheme as a bit of a reference point for this ink blending. And you might think, holy cannoli, woman, what? But just wait, just hang in there and just watch. Just see where I'm going with this, okay? So it's going to be a very, very colorful background, and hopefully you will like it a lot because it did turn out pretty cool. yeah, so we're going to be using a lot of these dark, amazing colors from Pinkfresh Studios. And there's going to be some blues and some pinks and some purples. So I've gone in with this sort of the teal colors. And then I've gone in with the pink colors. And then we've gone in with some blues. And there's going to probably be, I think I might have skipped the purples, because it turns out the teal with, oh, there we go. There's a bit of purple there too. So the colors just kind of, you would think that these colors are not going to go very well together, but just wait. I mean, look how they just kind of oomph together, right? So cool. And out comes the stamp grabber, because made a mess yet again. Clearly did not learn my lesson from the first time. However, this time I am going to be taking my very dirty sheet of acetate, and we're going to take that stencil and we're going to spritz that with some water, because obviously there's a lot of ink on this still. So, and then we're going to let that activate a little bit. And then we're going to print. And this is actually watercolor cardstock, because water and Nina paper, no, that does not work very well together at all. However, with watercolor cardstock, it works like a charm. So you get a really sort of not abstract, but you get a print that you can do a lot of things with. So with these two sequin mixes, these are the two new ones. So we have Green Fairy, which is this one, and I really wanted to go in like kind of heavy, because I was kind of going for like a kaleidoscope look, you know, when you're looking through one of those kaleidoscopes and it's just like colors and sparkles and, you know, like all the facets of color and the patterns and stuff. I was like, yeah, let's try to recreate that in a card, because why not, right? Yeah. And I'm using the little gem picker, and it works a treat. And I've used this Nouveau, like Perfection, I want to say Perfection, but it's a Nouveau glue anyway, and this one worked so well as well. It just, yeah, really good stuff for the precision work that you're doing with sequins. So I really liked how that turned out. So I thought, okay, well, we're going to use the Spring Fling for the teal one, and I thought, okay, well, we'll probably do sort of similar-ish levels of sequins. And then it was like, holy cannoli, Erica, what are you doing? That's like a lot more. But was there stopping me? There was absolutely no stopping me. And, you know, once I had that glue in my hand, it was like, yeah, we're doing this. We are doing this. So there's probably like more sequins than ink on these cards. But hey, sometimes you just gotta go for it, right? And I haven't actually finished this one off. So this one might just get a sentiment inside, because where would you put it? I did try to stamp a couple of sentiments on this one, but I think that they kind of disappeared. So I think that would actually look nicer by stamping them on thin strips of white cardstock. And yeah, you would lose a couple of sequins, but you know, with this many, would it really matter? I think not. No. So there we go. That's it from the over sequinizer that is Erica. See you soon again.